Honourable members, the next entity I understand members wish to debate is the Housing New Zealand Corporation. The question is that the report of the Social Services Committee on the 29-210 financial review of the Housing New Zealand Corporation be noted. I call the honourable member to Uraroa Flavel. Tēnā koe, Mr. Flavel.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Chair. Kia ora tātou katoa tēnei pō. Mr. Speaker, one of the best pieces of news in this review was that as a result of $125 million for jobs and the growth plan, over 11,000 state houses were upgraded and 87 new state houses were to be built. We welcome the news and we would hope that local labour is utilised. I'm going to give big ups to the Minister. But come to this review, however, we consider that the situation is a little bit more dire in that in Auckland, for example, demand is there for an additional 10,000 houses. And also, as the review points out, the changes in changing demographics require sort of different housing needs. Mr. Chair, over 26% of Māori live in one-parent households and some 11% live in multi-family households. A different reality than in the past where the norm was a two-parent household with 2 or 3 children in it. A very high proportion of Māori children, 35%, live in single-parent households. This brings with it evident differences in household income. Māori living in homes reliant on single incomes have the lowest income, $28,000 for one parent with children, for one parent with children households. So, Mr. Chair, when we're talking about the Housing Corp, then inevitably we're talking about Māori as an explicit part of their responsibility to provide housing for people with low incomes or specific housing needs. There has been some progress which we would commend, and the Minister again. 25,000 state houses upgraded, 5,000 participants in the Welcome Home First program for first-time home buyers, and a particularly significant advance in more than 2,000 families directly benefiting from the Healthy Housing program led by the Ministry of Health in areas of high health risk. Mr. Chair, we cannot underestimate how important the relationship is between health and housing. In 2006, 46.3% of Pacifica children, 27.8% of Māori children and 22.3% of Asian children lived in crowded conditions. Rates of acute rheumatic fever have been shown to be significantly and positively associated with household crowding in Aotearoa. So that's an important statistic that I think we should take note of. But in coming back to the issue of low-income Māori households, this is a significant population for the Housing Corporation. Mr. Chair, it's impossible to ascertain from the reports how many of the 20,000 people housed in the tenancy services are Māori. From the constituents who have come into my offices or our offices as a party, we have little confidence that the corporation is adequately meeting the needs of whānau Māori, and that worries us. But there is room for optimism, and that is through the work of the iwi and Māori organisations that have indicated an interest in being involved in the management of state housing. The Corporation's annual report describes 4 projects approved under the Māori Demonstration Partnership, which will result in 44 new properties in Northland, Tauranga and Whakatane. And of course, as the MP for Wairakei, I'm very happy about that and welcome it. But there are other developments I want to refer to which bear reference to this review. This is in the context of partnership arrangements to construct social housing which have been negotiated with groups like Te Runango Te Rarawa, Ahipara Māori Committee, Panguru Development Trust, Te Uri o Hau Settlement Trust, Ngāti Hine Forest Trust, Mangatawa Papamoa Block Incorporation, that's in my area, Ngāti Awa Group Holdings in my area as well, and Te Runanga o Kirikiriroa and the Ngāti Whātua o Ōrākei Māori Trust. So, Mr. Chair, there are probably over 300 properties of this kind where land is leased from iwi. There are also other iwi who have expressed an interest in management of state housing within their rohe. Within Wairakei again, my electorate, Te Runanga o Ngāti Awa, has indicated a desire to purchase all of the corporation stock in and around Whakatane. So that's great. I want to acknowledge our iwi who have stepped up and stepped into this gap who have picked up the responsibility for their own to care properly for our whānau, and would hope that the Housing Corporation continues to trust in their leadership and their vision in the development of housing in those rohe. Kia ora tātou.
Mr. Speaker, or Mr. Chairman.